All right, so here we go. We are at our final stage of this process. We are going to be putting on the PU20 two-part matte sealer. So you'll see that there's two parts to this. The way you do this is by weight. We use a scale to weigh this out. We will give you a calculation of what that is. If you were going to use the whole pot, you would take both of these, mix them together. You've got about 2 hours to use it. We do 2 coats. I have a calculation of how to break this down so you know how much it's going to take roughly per square foot and also how much you need to make sure you're putting on per square foot. We do sell this in a smaller kit too for smaller rooms that are like 100 square feet. So we do have that option for you as well for the time being. And this is the PU20 matte system. You're probably wondering what kind of equipment you're going to need for when you're applying the PU20. Because this is a two-part sealer, you need to protect yourself. We traditionally do this application either at night or on the weekends when no other trades are around. This is a NOSH-approved carbon filter mask. We've got our main roller, we've got our whiz roller, we have a brush, and a clean new tray liner or a clean new tray. That's what you need for the application of this, and you can use all of this throughout both coats because we're going to put a coat on, wait a few hours, put our second coat on, clean up, and then we're done. So when everybody shows up on Monday, it's clean and ready to go. Okay, so here we go. You can see I've got my part A, my part B. What I'm going to do is I'm going to actually mix up half of this container because I've got this shower upstairs and I've also got the one downstairs. So I'm going to start with enough that says it's going to cover 250 square feet. So I'm going to do 2,500 grams of this, 500 grams of this, and then we're going to see how we're making out square footage wise. Okay, so I've got my clean bucket here. You're going to notice that I have a metal strainer. I like to strain all my stuff, so I'm going to zero out my scale and I'm going to weigh out 2,500 grams of this. So I'm going to basically just pour it through that strainer, until I hit 25. This is just to make sure I don't have any minuscule little debris in there. You don't have to do this, but you're going to all the extent that you are in this job, so why would you not? Okay, now we are going to add our part B. For this part, obviously I need to put the mask on because now I'm mixing the two components together. You're gonna get a really strong headache. The smell is not that strong, but you still should be protecting yourself. Isocyanate, it's a big deal. Especially when you're mixing two components together, it is off-gassing. What I'm going to do in this particular space is I'm going to open up this window. I'm going to let some fresh air in. If you don't have the ability to do this, you want to somehow try to scrub the air that's in here, close the doors, protect everybody else, whatever. So for this, I'm going to add half this container, which is 500 grams in here. Then I will have a full 3 kg or 3,000 grams, and I have a few hours to use it. I should have enough for both of these showers, upstairs and downstairs. Okay, so you probably saw in the last room, what I did was I was very detail orientated while I was putting it on. And it's very important that you go through and check your edges, and you're also looking and making sure you're not having a bunch of runs because you don't want to get runs. It's all about putting this on level, smooth, and flat, doing 2 coats, going back through afterwards, checking all your edges, making sure it's not too built up on the tape. All that's really important. You want to make sure everything looks clean. If you have too thick of a spot, especially in the edges or in the corners, it'll dry like a cloudy color and you'll always kind of see that run. So you want to be very particular about your process and how you're going through. Pre-roll the edges, roll the large section of the wall, come back through when you're completely done and just double check, make sure you don't have runs or anything along those lines. That's it. Wait a few hours, apply your second coat.